We've had Android-based watches available for a long time, with any number of manufacturers trying their hand at smart, connected, Google-powered wristwear. From Motorola, LG, and Samsung right at the beginning, through to fashion and luxury brands like TAG Heuer, Montblanc, and Fossil. But in the whole time it's existed as a platform, it's felt like there's one thing missing: a Google Watch. A watch that is to the Android ecosystem what the Apple Watch is to iPhone users. A tightly integrated experience that promises a fluid and highly customizable user interface with great fitness tracking. With the Pixel Watch, that's exactly the feeling we get, leaving us with the feeling that this is, indeed, the Apple Watch for Android users. For better and for worse, as a smartwatch, the Pixel Watch experience is generally very good. You get pretty much everything you need from a wrist-worn gadget. There's contactless payments, great fitness tracking, interaction with notifications or messages, and downloadable third-party apps, and crucially, watch faces you can customize. We only have two complaints really. One of those is the battery life. With its one-day battery, it's not setting any records. Our other minor nickel is that it's a bit too small. We'd have loved to see a case over 41mm, closer to the usual 44mm. For fitness buffs who love height, the watch's performance here will disappoint too. But for most other activities, you should find it absolutely fine. In the end, what the Pixel Watch delivers is something a lot of Android users have been waiting for. A proper smartwatch experience that rivals the Apple Watch in features and fluidity, and does it better than the Galaxy Watch 5. It's a stellar watch. It might be a surprise to see that the watch described as the Apple Watch of Android is completely round, shunning the square look of Apple's smartwatch completely. But even here, there are elements where Google has taken a similar approach to the world's most popular smartwatch. One of those is the fact that Google has gone with an entirely proprietary strap-fixing mechanism. Unlike pretty much any other smartwatch maker, you can't just buy a 20mm or 22mm quick-release band and swap it out when you want. Instead, at least for the short term, you have to go with Google's own watch straps. The case itself is a really nice example of how to build a round smartwatch, but in a way, that's a little different to the rest. There are no flat lines or straight edges anywhere. Everything is rounded or curved. The black glass dome rounds down the edges, seamlessly joining with the stainless steel case, which then continues the curve down to the rounded underside featuring the optical sensors for all your health metrics. We were going to complain about the placement of the buttons when we first saw the watch, chiefly because the rotating crown slash button sits right in the middle, on the part of the curve that would be closest to the back of your hand if worn in the typical orientation. With watches like this in the past, we found ourselves exiting workouts when our hand bends back and press the button, or launching Google Assistant accidentally. Thankfully, it doesn't have to be an issue here. Google has designed the watch to be worn in any orientation on either wrist, so you can wear it on your left or right wrist with the button facing away from your hand on the other side of the watch, and choose that orientation in the initial setup. The interface then rotates the correct way up. Problem solved. In the smartphone world, Google uses the Pixel to show off the best of its mobile platform features, free from the third-party manufacturer skins that can tarnish the experience sometimes. The same is true with the Pixel Watch. Unlike the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 or Galaxy Watch 4 series, the Pixel Watch is free of the Samsung elements, and we like it a lot. Swiping and moving around the interface seems fluid and clean, and it's only helped further by the glossy, rounded feel of the display that really adds to that feeling of frictionless fluidity. It's responsive too, so nothing feels like it takes time to respond. Even the Play Store loads relatively quickly, and apps download fast too. It feels like a real finally moment that the stock Wear OS watch faces are now customizable to a level similar to what you find on Apple's Watch OS. That means you can customize the accent color, with a plethora of hues available, as well as change the index style and complications. You're not just stuck with a watch face that only lets you change what data appears in the little complication windows. So for a lot of them, you can't tell where the display ends and the bezel begins. It's a good thing too, because it disguises the fact that the 1.2-inch panel is on the small side compared to a lot of other smartwatches. Still, at 450 to 450 resolution, it's a sharp display, and being a 1000 nit peak brightness AMOLED screen means it's easy to read in any condition. Another nice touch is something you can't see: haptics. When you have a notification come through, you get a subtle tap on the wrist rather than a buzzy "look at me" vibration. And this is met with some cute, subtle sounds to alert you to a new message. It's not a loud attention-hogging system, although we quite like the ability to adjust the haptic/vibration strength to make it a tad stronger. Otherwise, it's got everything you need. Once set up, you can load up a contactless card on your wrist by double pressing the crown. You can pair earphones and listen to music, and you can use it to track your workouts and activities. The watch, of course, measures all the usual health and fitness metrics. It has sensors for all of it, whether that be all-day HR, sleep tracking, step counting, breathing rate, and all the rest of it. What we like, however, is the way Fitbit organizes that data in the app home screen to make it easy to understand. It's well organized and pretty foolproof. The ePix 2 on the other wrist was much better at reading immediately, and we found the same to be true of the Apple Watch and Samsung or Huawei watches over the past year. Google's first watch simply can't quite compete in this area. Once it catches up, however, it's generally fine and match the Garmin burpee for burpee, but you lose the accurate intensity data from that first few minutes. When a smartwatch, and a small one no less, has a great display and a feature-rich, fluid interface, you can almost take it for granted that the battery life isn't going to be the strongest. That's certainly true of the Pixel Watch. Google rates it as good for 24 hours, and in our testing, we'd say that's pretty accurate. Even with the always-on display switched off, we didn't once manage to get it to the end of the second day. Over a one-day, 24-hour period without any GPS-intensive activity tracking, we were down to about 30% battery 24 hours after taking it off charge. As a smartwatch, the Pixel Watch experience is generally very good. You get pretty much everything you need from a wrist-worn gadget. There's contactless payments, great fitness tracking, interaction with notifications/messages, downloadable third-party apps, and crucially, watch faces you can customize. So what do you guys think about the new Pixel Watch? Let us know your comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you for the next time. Peace out.